Good evening, folks, and welcome back to Biblical Britain Uncoded. I'd like to welcome any new subscribers. We see we've got a few. As always, I've got the most astounding, astonishing code to show you that kind of really ties up everything. I haven't got a great deal of time to talk, as much as there's so much I would want to say and so much more I want to connect to this video, but this is my second attempt at it, hence the delay. And but I can assure you this is going to be well worth it. Right, I'm going to get straight into it. Right, firstly, I just want to do a quick recap. I'm only going to read it, and obviously I can't decode it, but just showing, right, from the Jacob's Ladder video, or the Vatican Vatican Snakes and Ladders video. Right, I'm just going to read the code, like I say, without explaining it, but just to give you an idea that this is just more to show you the scale of this and how it all links up. Right, the message in there on the Atlas, from the Atlas code in it, was yes, ancient Welsh Bible rewritten, connect ladder redeemer, angel's key and seller, wed RV, warn event. Okay, and then basically there's a passage in Job says to speak to something about speak to the land and it will reveal or something, and it says speak to the fish and they will teach thee. Again, if you type in fish into the sort of bear with me a second, folks. If you type in the word fish into the online Bible, you'll get Job and you'll see it there. However, what I did was take all the fish constellations, literally took all the titles: Dorado the sawfish, Pisces the fishes, Cetus the whale, the dolphins, literally all the fish, and I basically uncoded this message. It said ancient South Wales history is hid in the depths of the Vatican. She hushes up Gyrus, that'll be Jerusalem for anybody new, the real Jerusalem with a G. ID Welsh Christ, use H hidden on hill fort. Well, we'll be coming a bit more into this anyway as this video progresses. End popes, FFF lies. FFF is F is the sixth letter of the alphabet. It's basically thinks, fallen, few lies. It's the deception of the Antichrist. Right, okay. Moving on to that, then we went to the second video, the Noah's Ark part 1. Obviously I had to split it I thought this would be the final video, but clearly since then I've had so much code that I'm going to have to, without a doubt, have to do a third video, maybe more, depending on what comes. But the Atlas code then says, spoke to the fish and they revealed Welsh Christ and Vatican Bible lies. Final rest of Noah's Ark on Table Mountain, not Ararat, Turkey. Connect Dove event. Link Solomon Llewellyn Sabbath end map. Now this is the important bit, because the Gymru Wonder Belt, the part of this is on the board behind me, which I'll explain now. It says Link Solomon Llewellyn Sabbath end map, Gymru Wonder Belt, Angel Key. Link Ned and Ladder, Cumbra'n Valley Womb, and Cumbra'n Valley Womb. Argus Navis ship will return, set evac LZ, remind takedown, graven cross, warning sin, not Lord. Like I say, if you want to get the full effect of what this whole, going to be a set of videos, please, the first one is a must watch, and then watch this one. I mean, watch this one anyway, because it's got miraculous code in it. I guarantee you I'm about to show you miracle after miracle. And I'm about to prove to you that I am guided when I draw these maps, because that's the reason for the map on the board behind. Okay, so going on from that then, on the same video, obviously there was a star decode as well, or multiple constellation decode. RR the altar, Mensa the Table Mountain, and a ton of them. Okay, it says, he names Ararat Table Mountain. Here he calls the dove to the boat. Vatican Church guilty, led into trap. Search the crow's nest at Temple House, connect the angel. And then he says, I attach Argus Navis RV SOS. Right, okay. that's just a quick recap. Like I said, can't go into all of it, but when it said search the crow's nest, it literally meant search. I thought it was a bit strange that it said search it, because I'd already identified that my parents were the two crows, and they moved to Kyle house on the temple, where and obviously the crow's nest of the Argus Navis drawn ship on the map, the representation of it. Not this map, but we'll show you this one a bit later on. But obviously, there's something extraordinary that brings all this together now and ties up this map as well. This map first. Now, what's amazing about this map is that I actually drew this map 2 years ago, and I was led to draw it, and if I'm honest, at the time I couldn't understand why there was kind of all Egyptian symbology like the Eye of Horus. What you've got is effectively, this is the Ankh, and this here is the Ankh. This is the first bit. Is the opening part was this one here: Canaan, Egypt, Judah, or Wales, England, and Cornwall. The real biblical places. I don't know whether they were actually called this in ancient time or whether they've just been coded to be uncoded to show where they really are, because the whole of the Bible, basically the original Welsh Bible, has been rewritten, so obviously everything's changed. But either way, if they did change it, they've fallen into a trap, basically, because it helps uncode it. K for Canaan, E for Egypt, Y for Judah, which would be Judah with this Roman J, but it's Judah with a Y. But what you have is a K-E-Y. Okay, there's a lot more to it than that, but I'm going to have to limit it down. What you've got is this bow as well. Where is the bow? The original, all that was on the original drawing was this triangle. Then I built this with building the bow of Zachariah. This is Port Talbot, or Bolt at Port. This is B Recon, or Brecon, where the Eye of Horus goes. St. David's, and basically I think what you do is you put your fingers in there, plop this down, put the bolt at Port, fire it, and it actually hits Lewisham, which is an anagram of I am Welsh. Okay, a lot more to it than that. Right, but without further ado, I want to get on, because there's a hidden... Right, now bear in mind, I drew this 2 years ago based on the most strange code ever. I say strange, I think it was correct. It was following the thought pattern of Boudica, or Boudicca, or whatever she's known as. But, however, now here's the brilliance of it. I drew this, obviously you've got this, what you've got is, obviously, as you can probably see, is the Seal of Solomon. That's the first part. It's all extended because of different pictures within it. Right, now looking at it from this angle, if you look at that as being an eye, this is a shark. This is Leviathan Rome. Anagram more than a veil, because it is. You've got the Welsh and the shark, and you just say it quickly, you get the Welsh ark, and that's what this is all about. But there's a whole lot more code in this to go with that. Right. Now, this is the part that makes this fantastic is what you also have. Bear in mind, on Solomon symbology, you have the Giza. There is a picture of clearly a picture of the Giza pyramid, which is on the key seal, which we'll be coming on to in a bit, as we go on progressing this video. But the key seal, basically, and on there also has another, like a pyramid, a great pyramid, and then 3 X's. Well, that indicates the one. Well, what's going to be the Wonder Belt. Okay. Obviously, it told us to link the Gymru Wonder Belt. So what we're going to do today is link the Gymru Wonder Belt. But I need to show you this first, because 2 years ago I drew this. Now I find the code in it. Right, the code names come from, if I just pop this side, bear with me. Okay, right, the code names come from the pinpoint places. So what you've got is, let's start down here, Tor Point, obviously this here, where is it? This is like the ground of the pyramid. The reason there's this here because it doubles up as a tent, but I won't go into that at the minute. That's the tribe tent. But if you go there, you've got the line down the middle, and then you've got the eye on the pyramid as well. This is right. But the shark obviously has his mouth wrapped up, because there's a passage in Job that also says, "Canst thou draw which I did, I drew it. Draw out Leviathan with a cord, or a cord thou lettest down. Now this is the only thing that I added afterwards, and I think what this should be is a cord, basically, that's wrapped up in the Eye of Horus. And obviously this is what is kind of capturing Leviathan out with the code, really. That's what it's all about. It's exposing the Vatican and the church, really, and the truth of Amen-Ra, which is the snake from the Garden of Eden, decoded in my Eden videos. Right, if you know, right, I also think this represents Pisces, the conjoined fish, because what you have is the giant head, which represents the Vatican, and then the Christian fishtail. This used to be Kyle-Went, this is Ipswich, this is Chroma, so RC Rome, without getting into it, but it's IB Switch, so they switched Kyle-Went at some point when they rewrote Welsh history and hid Jerusalem, changed it to Ventus Ilurum, but again they went into a trap because that is coded as well, makes no difference. But the points of the map are Chroma, Ipswich, Holy Well is where it crosses, Sheffield, Bognor Regis, where are you? Swindon, because it's the centre point of the pyramid, Swindon, Exeter, Torpoint, St David's, Sheffield and Holyhead. Okay, so there is a miraculous code that confirms everything that what I drew into this map. It is now going to confirm every single, well, the bulk of the codes that I've decoded from those place names, but also adding a new one. And it's done deliberately to show you that there's no way that I could have worked, obviously, how did I draw? The question is, how could I have drawn this map with all these symbols and everything in there? And there's a lot more to it than what I'm showing you. And this is not all the symbols. There's some that can't go in there because they're too small, like bows and, well, one you're going to see, which ties up everything to do with this. Okay, so, right, so, but what the code says proves, now confirms like I say, all the codes that I've decoded, and but it's already written and encoded into a map that I drew 2 years ago with no clue of all the things that obviously the codes, everything I've decoded has been since. But this is showing that I was led to draw this map. There is no question that the almighty one upstairs is clearly guiding me to draw these maps. And then, and like I say, on the last one I showed an example of it as well. Because I seem to just draw them, and there's a second code as well, actually, with the same thing. There's kind of B codes, I think, and A codes, or B and C codes even. There's lesser, or probably lesser keys of Solomon. They're lesser key codes. But they've all led me to find this the kind of A or golden code, if you like, in the matrix or the matrix with a P. Okay, on that note, bear with me 2 seconds. Okay, folks, bear with me a second. Let me just tidy this up. I wish I had some modern equipment. Right, okay, perfect, that'll do us. Right, the seal pyramid map, okay. Right, obviously, like I say, understand that I created this map just over 2 years ago. And I've been piecing together all these different codes, obviously so far accumulating with the kind of fish code. But, right, what this says is absolutely phenomenal because it's a checklist, literally, of all the code that I've literally decoded. There is no way, particularly because of the one new code in this, what I say, which I'm going to show you the code, absolutely phenomenal, relates to Noah as well. But as you'll see, well, let me just show you it and then we'll talk through it. Bear with me again. I put this up there just so anybody who wants to check it can check it. Okay. Okay, folks, 2 years on, and I find that the actual code or the main or the sort of aid code, if you like, contained within those place names that I just put on the board, give you a checklist of everything that basically that I've done, or not everything, but the kind of crux of it. Okay, it says tied the fish. Obviously we've done that because when I tied the fish, it literally tells me that where was it? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, I've got so many codes on the go. It said, right, when I tied the fish, it said, ancient South Wales history is hid in the depths of the Vatican. She hushes up Gymru's ID Welsh Christ, she was hidden on Hillfort, ends Pope 666 lies. Okay, then it was followed on by spoke to the fish and they revealed Welsh Christ and Vatican Bible lies, obviously backing up the last video. The final rest of Noah's Ark on Table Mountain, not Ararat, Turkey. And as we go down the list, it says, oh well, Link Solomon, Coelin again, Sabbath End Map, Gymru Wonderbelt, Angel Key. Okay, like I say, I can't go into everything with it, but it's all in the videos previous. Okay, so we tied the fish, that is absolutely correct. We can say we've definitely done that. Like I say, there's also, you've got the picture of the giant shark, which is Leviathan Rome, or represents the Catholic Church as the head, and the fishtail being the church blindly following the head. That's what it amounts to. It's been sort of kind of amalgamated into one, but the head grew much bigger and nastier and evil. And, you know, not the people, I don't mean the people in it, but obviously, well, just follow these videos and you'll see. Okay, so then it says solved. Now it gives you a checklist. Well, Coelin is Coelin ap Caradoc. I won't write it in, but he is coded as well. He's part of a code, and we'll be coming to that on the next video. But his name is Coelin ap Caradoc, the son of, who is David Caradoc ap Bran, but they've taken off the David to hide it. But he's King David, who ruled from Jerusalem, which is Caer Went, which is, well, the Welsh Fort Seal is, I believe, is this one. It's the key. This is the key. There's 3 seals. You've got the key, the temple, and the river seal. Incidentally, which gives you the RGH as well. You've got the R for the river, G for Jerusalem, and H for the MELIN, which is Llanmelin, which is the fort in the shape of, literally in the shape of a modern key. Then you've got the padlock on the temple, obviously, which is what gives you, and then obviously, again, we'll go into it in a bit more depth, but if you're not up with these videos, please go back and watch them. Okay, so we've solved Coelin is Solomon. Solomon is a code, not a person. It's all part of the trap to, when they go creating this Middle East, they're still looking for Solomon's temple, they'll never find it. They tell you they found it, they're lying. Okay, we've also done the Welsh Fort Seal. The RGH sign will be coming onto this because this comes up multiple times in the next lot of codes. Well, it certainly is identified by the rainbow code as well. Okay, so the RGH sign, which is the river, which is effectively, hang on, let me just, well, actually I won't do it, you'll see what the RGH, but the Royal Gwent Hospital is also where I was born, and the house I was registered at birth is next to the padlock on the temple that breaks the matrix. Again, I'll come to that. The exit ship is the Argus Navis. This is the evac ship from Earth when the fire comes, Nibiru. Right, Orion Wonder Pyramid Rainbow Code. Now, I partly undid the pyramid code, but what's funny is on the last video when I saw the Gymru Wonderbelt, I knew instantly where it was going. However, I was thinking to myself, I haven't got a great deal on it, I've got some, and I actually thought that I would be able to fit the you know, all the Solomon stuff maybe, and what I had on it into this one video. But Yara had other ideas, because the first week had nothing, and then within a couple of days, boom, 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 these codes unfolded, and absolutely incredible what it reveals. But the point of the Orion Wonderbelt Pyramid Code is to show you that I drew that map 2 years ago. Now I find the code in it, and the rainbow code, and it's astonishing. And again, it confirms everything really that I've been saying all along, in the most miraculous way, and showing that you know, as much as I look intelligent, I can assure you I'm outside of this code. I'm just an average guy, literally, who you know, just lives his life, does his Sabbath, you know, and just gets these codes. And like I say, I don't speak to the creator, but it's all laid out already, and what he does, somehow, through consciousness, he guides me to where I need to go. And as you'll see, because in the space of well, even if you want to call it 3 weeks, and in reality it's probably less than 10, 12 hours, I guess, and not even that probably, of actually decoding the words. So some of them are a bit tricky because you get new things, but each time I get there, I find like this one. This one didn't take long at all once I realised. But what I will say is I got this as well with this rainbow code after I uncoded the rainbow. Again, everything seems to be in reverse, but whichever way, absolutely phenomenal. This is just showing you that I am genuinely being led from above, and why, how, and if you're going to make, you know, extraordinary claims, you need extraordinary evidence. And for me, this is absolute finite evidence, because there is no way that I would have, well, I've literally done all this, now I've got that, but I drew the map 2 years ago. Explain how that is possible. Never mind the symbols in the map, because there's a multitude of symbols in there that are, and different things. There's a lot of code within the pictures. And it's not all the pictures, there's pictures within the pictures as well, which you're going to see, and one in particular, because I've got another example of where I've done a code in the past, and now all of a sudden it fits in with this, and it's astonishing when you see it. Okay, bear with me 2 seconds, folks. Okay, folks, Orion's Wonder Belt and the Gymru Wonder Belt, Gymru WB is Gymru obviously Wonder Belt. Right. There's more than, right, again, there's going to be phonetics in this, as you'll see. But when you see the full code put together, you realise there's no phonetics in it, and it ties directly with this seal as well. Now, Solomon's seal, would normally be for, we wouldn't understand why it would be showing the pyramids of Giza on it. But there's actually a South American pyramid on there as well. I mean, I don't know if you can see this, a bit small, but this is, yeah, M-E-L-I-N, and then it's C-M-E-N-L-Z as well is also in there. You've got the H with the crown, but at the bottom of this seal you've got a picture of one pyramid. It's a slit in it, it's the Giza pyramid. And what you have here is a pyramid with 3 X's. That indicates that they're the 3 pyramids of Giza, which the code that I'm about to show you is all encoded from that, with a secondary pyramid code, but again, I'll come to that now. Right, this is the basic one, so you will see phonetics, but you'll understand why there's phonetics, because there's more than one code in it when I uncode the full code in it. Okay, so Giza pyramid is an anagram. Basically, I just take down the letters. A, G is your map ID. So a G is your map ID. Now, as I showed you with the big map as well, because that's what it's referring to, Gymru is the Welsh word for Wales. Been softened to Cymru, apparently to make it easier. I think they're just trying to get rid of the G's, because they don't want anyone to read it. I think they know that somebody's going to come and expose what the real meaning of the G is. It's Gymru and Jerusalem all in one. Both of those linked together. Okay. Right, but staying on topic. Okay, so let's do the first part. So the simple one is AG is your map ID. My map ID is Gymru, Mr. Guy. This is also why the bow points to Lewisham. I am Welsh. I am Welsh. Wales is Gymru. Gymru is Mr. Guy. Obviously I'm Welsh as well. Okay, so that's just part 1. But this YR and this Z, like I say, will become apparent. Bear with me a second. Okay, folks, now we're going to take it a step further. Okay, right. On that same symbol, there's this picture, which, I always thought, I could never work it out. JHB is what I saw, but it isn't. It's a very, very clever question. Okay, what you do is you rotate it effectively, and once you rotate it, what you have are 2 pyramids. Okay, I'll show you what this line does now. But these 2 pyramids, one is the Giza pyramid in Egypt, or what is now called Egypt, that isn't really Egypt, but they've named it Egypt. Then you've got your I don't even know how to pronounce it. I think it's it might be Tiwanaku. Is it Tiwanaku or whatever? The pyramid of it's also the pyramid of the Sol, the Sun, and the Moon. Obviously, when you know what this is all about, this is a good indicator, because It's basically all you do is switch the O, well, one of the O's, put it there, and it clearly connects to Solomon. Okay, so the two pyramids, there's two pyramids there, but for now we're going to stick with the one pyramid because it's just representation. This actually asks a question. What does it ask? Well, when you break down Giza pyramid, you get a G as your map ID. When you break down Tiwanaku or whatever it is pyramid, it says, can you tie your map ID to a H? Again, using this YR and this YR. Again, there's reason for this and the Z in there, but I'll come to that when we piece it all together, because there's a big message in the whole of this, including the pyramids. Okay, well the answer to the question is yes. And all I do is, this is asking the question, a G is your map ID, can you tie your map ID to a H? There's your G, there's your H. Well, I can, because it obviously it's basically to do with Solomon's safe zone, as you'll see. And the rainbow will connect into this as well, soon enough, and something else. Okay, so all I do is literally, I just rotate, and I answer yes, I can. Okay, right. So this is so clever, but this is asking the question of the two pyramids. So when you put the two together, it asks the question, you answer it yes. Okay, that's the simple part. Let's move on. Okay, now to work out why is it a YR. Okay, first it says firstly you've got your YR, so you bring down the YR from both of them because they both indicate the same thing basically, or they're both aiming at the same target, which will become apparent later. Okay, so so what you do is you take your YR and then a G is your map ID. Can you tie your map ID to a H? Well, anyone who's been watching this, let me just move that over a bit. If you've been watching these videos, what you will know is the RGH is indeed the code for the river Jerusalem and Hebron, or the H-man, whichever way you want to do it. But what it does, it gives you this map. Because within that big map as well is the right. What it represents. This is the temple symbol, or the Solomon's temple symbol. So that's the key. This is the lock. So this is the lock on the temple itself, which I'll show you in its glory just shortly. But the code for the Royal Arch in Cancer is right, and you've got the sun, the moon. So the sun and the moon sign born in Cancer, who uses basically this is an atlas, or the Gwyneth Zodiac to be exact, which says go ID Cas Nuith, which is where the RGH is. Cas Nuith is the Welsh word for Wales. So the zodiac there is actually the Gwyneth Zodiac. You can Google that, and it's a massive basic zodiac encoded in the land. Right. And this side has got a picture of the Earth, this side's got a picture of the constellations. But what you do, basically, when you overlay the template, because the temple at Mon is temple at Mon is template Mon. So what it's using is all these things as templates. Okay, so if I switch the Y upside down, let's try and get that bit better, bear with me, folks. So I switch the Y upside down, because this is your Cancer constellation. Okay, and there's more to come on this, because Canis Minor, the actual stars in there, give you the exact instructions to fit this map, basically. And this goes on, it goes on Canaan, Swindon, Egypt, Exeter, and Idea, Holy Head. Right, the first thing I did, the key to breaking this map was knowing that the KEY, or the key to break this whole code, is knowing where they are. Swindon, well, what you've got is SEEK, so it's got seek something, and then you've got HES, he's. So, and then you've got this part is the Gymru bit, which is Mr. Guy. Okay, but what you have is this is a template of the constellation Cancer, and what you've got when you lay it on the map, you point it, you've got it on Swindon Exeter and Holyhead, and these are the two forts. And what you do is you put the moon sign around, and what around about here is the River Severn, or the River Sabbath, which is seen RV. The RV is G is Jerusalem, and the H is Hebron. So what you've got is your Y turns upside down, and then you put your River, Jerusalem, and your Hebron, which is also the this is the RV, and this is the landing zone, or the LZ, for the ship that comes to rescue. Again, there's so much more to this, but you'll see this code now appear in the rainbow code. I believe it's in the rainbow code. No, it's not in the rainbow code, but it's in the pyramid code itself. Right, bear with me, I'll show you now. Okay, but what you have is, well, not only a G as map ID gives you Gymru. Can you tie your map ID to a H? Yes, I can. YRGH, but it's even more than that, because there's an actual statement from all the pyramid code, from the words now, that kind of links with it. Okay, bear with me a second. Okay, another code I forgot, and this is before we actually tied the actual big code up. Again, this is using phonetics because it's code within code. Right, the three pyramids of Giza, Cheops, Menkaure and Khafre. When you anagram them down, it says Marco keeps Ankh, U3H. The reason it says Marco keeps Ankh, U3H is because, even though it's not the best version that I did of it, but what it is effectively, and that's too thick really, but the Ankh is what I use to create the bow effectively, and the bow then, the port Torba is there, Swindon, and it fires off and it hits Lewisham, I am Welsh. But there's also a code in here, says something about scene exit, you add wonder. But obviously then, as I built the map, then obviously you get this fish tail, and then you get Solomon's seal and everything else. So this is going back to the big map. So Marco keeps Ankh, because it does come into play later, because it's the angel key. Okay, U3H. Okay, I will show you how to free H, because that comes up in the next code, I believe. It comes up in all the instructions to do it come up in, in the main code. Right, it'll make sense now. Bear with me, folks, but I just want to show you that Marco keeps Ankh, Q3H. What we'll be doing is freeing H on the map later on, because it essentially is where I work now. I work in Corsham, it's Marco's H. But this gets named in the not in the next code, but in one of them. I'll come to it. Right, bear with me a second, folks. Again, folks, just to show you, the next statement or code that I'm going to give you comes from all the letters that make up this here. The Giza pyramids, Cheops, Menkaure, Khafre, Tiwanaku, whatever, pyramids, Sol and Moon, the pyramid of the sun and the moon basically, but in the context of Solomon, which it really is, and that's why it links with this, is obviously it's the pyramid of the Sol and the pyramid of the moon. It's called the Sol because obviously we live in the solar system, or that's where the Sol comes from. Why they use sun, I don't know whether that's an ancient way of saying it maybe, but either way, it's the pyramid of the Sol and the pyramid of the moon. So what we're going to do, I'm going to literally anagram all this down, and then it's going to link up completely with this and say everything that I've been basically predicting or uncoding all the way along, and there's far more to come on this yet, so bear with me a second. Okay, folks, just when you thought it couldn't get anything more extraordinary. Now, so what you have, you've ticked off this with a yes, and the pyramids I just showed you, all those words, now say yes, can tie your map ID to a H, which I will show you how you do that as well. Free H man, which we'll be doing. Icode key, well the key is Solomon's key, that's the key code. Map Mon, that's Monmouthshire. SOS, because in the kingdom of Solomon is Monmouthshire. It's the kingdom of the Siluri, not the Israelites, the Siluri, with the chosen people that messed up really. Map Mon, SOS, or Save Our Souls. Argus Ark Ship LZ. Like I say, and I'll come, and even the ship's kind of description is in the Seal of Solomon, or the Great Seal of Solomon. But again, I'll be coming to that probably in the next video without doubt. But when you see this all combined together, it's impossible to be coincidence, or it's just impossible. It shouldn't be uncoded by me either. So it clearly is showing that I'm being led, because how I find most of this in the space of hours is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, the next one is the rainbow code, because this all connects together now. Again, something I'm about to show you, the most astonishing link up of code you had ever seen. Bear with me 2 seconds. Okay, folks, and Orion Wonder Pyramid Rainbow Code. As I said, obviously this ties to the big map, because it says that I'd solved Coelin, GH sign, exit ship, Orion Wonder Pyramid Rainbow Code. Okay, to break the rainbow code, now bear in mind the rainbow was a promise not to flood the earth again, and I think the two pyramids, the pyramids of Giza and the Pt2 whatever they're called in South America, and they reckon they were built in 400 AD. I would contest that and say this is probably showing a sign that he's not going to flood the earth again. However, he is going to send, well, he says it will be destroyed by fire. Obviously, this is why you need an evac, and there's a promise written into this code, or lead you to a promise, it all leads to the same thing basically, an evacuation from Earth on a ship called the Argus Navis. Okay, right, to break this code you need the full spectrum of colours basically: infrared, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet and ultraviolet. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm just going to anagram these down, and you'll be absolutely astonished, I hope, to what this actually says. Okay, it's right, okay. I give you Orion Wonderbelt riddle, unveil all, free target L. Right, now, as you will see, there's a lot more to come from this yet, absolutely extraordinary. But we're going to find the target, LZ, and exactly what hits the target, because, again, astonishing how this all fits together. Orion's Wonderbelt riddle as well, because what we will be doing at the end of it, Orion is an actual riddle. The stars in Orion make a riddle, which we'll be coming to at the end. And what it says is absolutely, well, like I say, to say something extraordinary, you need extraordinary evidence, and this code is providing it. Okay, so I give you Orion Wonderbelt riddle, unveil all. Well, I'll do that at the end. Free target L. Right, well, the target L is, well, I can tell you now, this is the target. The RGH is the target. And it's the target for something that I drew a little while, well, quite a while ago, but the target LZ, all I do is this basically connects it now back to that same Solomon sign, which is your melon and your Z. So so all you do is you slot the Z in there, and that takes you then to, well, this is the target, basically this is the target LZ. But there's also the RV is where we hit the target, because both of these connect together, obviously in the constellation of Cancer. And again, this is the temple, revealing the Temple of Solomon. The RGH, incidentally, is the hospital I was born in, but my registered place of birth is the house next door, literally 15 foot from the lock that I will show you on the map, that is built into the stonework for the key at Melin, which I'll also show you that as well. Okay, so I give you Orion Wonderbelt riddle, unveil all, free target LZ. Well, is he clearly telling you that the promise to get you out of what is coming is to basically, well, follow what I'm saying basically, and get right with Yahweh, the Creator, not Jesus. Jesus, just while we're at it, I'll do this because this cropped up just quickly. Satan, Jesus. Set as Janus. Janus is a two-faced, it's a head with basically two faces on it. The one side very often depicts horns. So this is Satan and Jesus. They're playing both sides. In modern terms, it's playing good cop, bad cop. But really, I'm afraid, it says Satan shows himself, even they admit it in the New Testament, that he portrays himself as an angel of light. Well, there you go. Sorry, Christians, but the truth is the truth. And you've been lied to. Okay, as you can see, folks, there's something on the board, Job's Dart. Now, I did this in previous videos. This is not new. Again, this is showing that I uncoded a code, but it was not. It makes complete sense that it's meant to be there. But the kind of A code again now is coming out as we progress, and obviously starts to reveal the most amazing things. Okay, there is a picture of a throw-in dart, and I will show you after I've decoded this the exact picture of it. And the dart itself, and this is not going to, I can't draw these things, but there's it goes, something. Basically, it draws a dart on the map and it hits the lock on the temple in Coent. Okay, amazingly, the part there that connects everything together is Temple Coombe. I haven't used the word temple, notice that, because Coent Temple obviously comes up as part of the written code in the Atlas matrix. Okay, but this dart goes across the West Country from, where's it go from? It goes from Coombe Keynes at the bottom. That's Alma. How I found that, I do not know. And again, obviously I didn't know this code was going to be there, what I'm about to show you, because it fits absolutely perfectly with well, you'll see now. And again, there's so much more to come on this. Right, before I do it, what I'll show you, right, now bear in mind, you've got the key is the connection of the two. So this is your LZ part, but the moon that goes around it on the map, and this makes your Cancer constellation. These represent the start. These represent Acellus Borealis and Acellus Australis. They're both coded as well, but I won't get into that now. This goes off to Holyhead. This one, this way, goes to Swindon, and this one goes to Exeter. On the map, it's actually more like this kind of shape. I don't know. It's not quite like that. But you put the moon sign on. But the temple at Mon is literally, it's called a temple for a reason, because the temple at Mon is simply a simply a template Mon. So what it is, it's just using it as a template to go onto the pillars to show you it, and it's using the Cancer constellation as a, obviously it makes it on the map, but it's more angled. But just to cover that, so it's not necessarily that these things match the sky, because I don't believe they do, but he uses the actual star constellation shape as a template, as he did with the previous video. Okay, so this is the target. This is the dart that hits the bullseye on Taurus, actually. But right, let's deal with one at a time. Okay, so what does this say? Okay, folks, absolutely astonishing what this says. I'll show you the picture of the dart shortly, and I'll also do the connection and show you where Corsham names me. Corsham is an anagram of Marco's H, because it says to, obviously on the pyramids, it keeps saying about 3 in H, and what's it say, 3H I code key or something along them lines. 3H man I code key. Well, the H man is me, it's Marco's H. Right, okay, I'll get to the second part, because we need to firstly uncode the temple, because there's more to this yet. Okay, so Job's Dart, the place names say uncode map target beyond Coent Temple. So when connect map key to Orion belt, caution names me. Now it says Orion belt because it's not Orion's belt in the sky, it's an Orion belt. So it's a belt that represents Orion on the ground. This is basically the Giza pyramids. But I'll show you how the key and the pyramids connect to Caution, and well, miraculously names me as well. Okay, right, right, so we've got that part. Let me show you the pictures next because they're sort of astonishing. Okay, right, let me just get this lined up. Oh, down, not up. Right, as I'm hoping you can see, there is a giant dart. Now, in the book of Job, again, it's all coded, it actually says, where is it? The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold the spear, the dart, nor the Harbigean. Okay, right, obviously, I'm not going to have time to do it now, but there is, going back in code, you'll find this gigantic spear coming down from Holy Island, Berwick on Tweed. It's all coded, and it basically points to Llanmelin. So you've got the spear pointing to Llanmelin, and then you've got, and it's all, like I say, all coded, and then you've got the dart coming in from the south. The Harbigean is actually an anagram of RGHB1. Well, the armour and a Harbigean or Harbigean, whatever it is chainmail armour. So what it's saying is the Harbigean is just a code. Well, it is the code for code. And the code is the armour because nobody can deny that this code is there. The best they could do is, well, if they're foolish enough to say that I created all this myself. But like I say, it's throwing so much into into this. It's impossible, absolutely impossible that all this is coincidence. But what you've got here, you've got Coombe Keynes, Dorchester, Alma, Alma. Oh, which one's this? Bear with me. Oh, this is Temple Coombe, where it all conjoins together, amazing. And obviously points to the temple. Then you've got Mapperton, Wincanton. This is Mapperton, which is, oh, there it is. I'm slightly off centre just so you can read the codes. This is Shepton Montague. Again, I've lowered it a little bit just so you can read it. And then it all basically points to, get that across. And as we zoom in, amazingly, this is the temple at Caerwent, which is also on the Crow's Nest. Bear in mind, it said to search the Crow's Nest, obviously on the last code as well. This is the Crow's Nest for the ship, also where the mast connects, which is going to become apparent in the next code. In this, on this, right, so obviously now we've got this lock, so it's identifying this as the target basically. And then you've got the other because the lock and the key are within the target zone of the moon, which is the big moon sign, obviously makes the target. It's a bullseye on Taurus basically as well, which it represents the Taurus constellation and the bullseye. There's more to come on that yet, but that's a bit more complex. Okay, right, just to show you as well, let me just show you. Okay, if we go to the map, for anyone new, this is the most abysmal picture of the key. This is the key in question, but I want to show you what it looks like when it's, where are we? Llanmelin Hill. Let me just show you a better picture of it. Right, there's the key basically when it's all trimmed up and nice. And that's the ancient hill fort of Llanmelin, a quarter of a mile away. Lines up, points to the Apple of Eden as well if you follow the line down through the lock on the corner of the four walls of Caerwent or Jerusalem, Ventus Iurum as is also known. But that's your key. Obviously then you've got the key that unlocks everything. This is Solomon's key, the real Solomon's key. Right, now we need to go because the next set of codes, unbelievably, Where are you? Bear with me. I've written here. Okay, what we'll be doing is, if I don't know if I'm hoping you can see this, you've got temenos, cellar, ambulatory, and tremenos path. Basically, this is the labels on the floor plan, if you like. They're supposed to be Latin, but they don't actually make much sense when they're doing Latin. So I don't know why they're called these. Well, I know why they're called these things in the bigger sense of it, because this is a fantastic code that now leads to some, well, like I say, to identify the target area, as I'm going to show you miraculously to tie all this code in. If I put that there, just show you quickly the temple itself. Where are you? It's not the best picture. Oh, right. Okay, this is the actual temple itself. I don't know if you can see it, the padlock in the middle. Basically, that is the keyhole for the key, but the padlock needs to be broken. By breaking the word padlock, it says add P lock. You put the P into the word matrix and it becomes matrix. So this is how you unlock the matrix or unlock the matrix, which gives you the end time, basically, Solomon's and everything's at the end time code, basically. And the rendezvous and this is the rendezvous for the tribes at the end, and the key is where well, it represents the landing zone for the Argus Navis Ark ship, as written in the pyramids and a million other places. Okay, sounds far-fetched if you're new to this, but well, I'm hoping it isn't by now. Right, now, actually, before I go back to the, bear with me a second, folks, I just need to pull something up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you now how. Right, it says, where is it? Where are we? Right, it says uncode map target beyond Coent Temple. Well, we found that, the map target. Now it says, so when connect map key, when connect map key to Orion belt, Corsham names me. Obviously, like I say, I'm actually in Eastleigh's Corsham, which is in Corsham, as you'll see in the boundary. But the plate's actually, yeah, Eastleigh's Corsham says, yes, Atlas Marcos H. So it's identifying me as the H-man, and the spear cuts through Manchester, which is secret H-man. Just to put that one with it. Okay, right, let me just put this. So as you can see, if I point where the key, from the centre, where the key is actually pointing to. And what I do is I literally, bear with me, there's Corsham, this is Corsham, which I'll show you now, because there's a symbol in that as well, which is absolutely astounding. And we go thousands and thousands of miles across the world. And what I do is I pinpoint the top of the Giza pyramid, and as you can see, this lines up pretty much perfect with this line as well. If I follow this through, it lands at the feet of the Sphinx, because that's encoded too, but I won't get into that right now. So what I've done is basically I've connected the map key to the Orion belt, or a belt of Orion, and it says Corsham names me. Okay, so if I come out, zoom out, and then I go all the way back thousands of miles to where not far, a million miles from the key, and we come to Corsham. Okay, as you can see, there's a pyramid. Why is there, right, firstly, Corsham is made up of different places. Where I actually work is right here. This is the exact building that I'm in right now. Yes, Atlas Marcos H. So, and if I just adjust the key slightly and go use the point, I can pinpoint this one as well, and that ties to the Vatican key. And it actually identifies the place I'm working, if you haven't seen that video. All I've done here, as you can see, there's a red boundary around Corsham. Now, the way I've always done this, I've said if that red boundary crosses, basically, obviously it's part of the message. And all there is these two parts jutting out. And I realised by using those, where I work and centre of Corsham, it actually produces this pyramid as well. So again, like I say, it's just a small little, well, I say a small little symbol, but here's where it gets bizarre. And I have no doubt this is deliberate, but it says it names me. Well, if I go in close, there just happens to be my name actually, well, pretty blatantly encoded in something. I don't know how these things got on here, but you've got these, like, well, I think they're bed and breakfasts. And what you'll see, I don't know if you can see this, let me have a look. Rudlow near Bath, Marco Pierre White. Okay, so you have the name Marco. Then just upside slightly north of it, you have a place called, incredibly, called Gaia's House. So, I don't know whether the rest is code, I don't even, well, maybe it is, maybe not, I don't know, I haven't looked at it. But you've certainly got the name Marco, Guy. You've also got, obviously Corsham is Marco's H. Eastleigh's Corsham is Yes Atlas Marco's H. You've got this pyramid here that goes in, and like, I think it's just to guide you, to let you know that you're on the right, you know, it's just highlighting there's two pyramids basically. Excuse me. Excuse me. The one that connects the other. Okay, so this gets even more crazy, so bear with me a second. Okay, while we're on the maps, I'll just show you this one now, because this will become irrelevant now. I've only quickly knocked this up, but what you've got here is the decoded map drawing of the Argus Navis. Carina the Keel, Carina Keel, use the M4 motorway. The deck goes from there. This is all coded, this line, these lines, all of it, literally all of it, this is coded. It goes down to Noah's Ark Farm Zoo. This is actually also the decoded crow's nest in the last video, obviously. But the point, notice that the mast meets the crow's nest, which is obviously on top of the mast. But we're going to use the wording out of this, the target zone as well, if you like. In the next code, but all this connects together, as you'll see now as I do I think it's one of the final codes. Bear with me a second. Okay folks, let me just line this back up. This is the only trouble with my Neanderthal kind of system here. Right, temple message, Temenos path, cellar and ambulatory. Okay, as I showed you, these are the these are what are labelled on the actual temple itself. Now, unbelievably, this uncodes to something that, and obviously bear in mind, I've just showed you where the ship is and the mast. So, right, all I'm going to do is anagram this down, and then you'll, well, watch the brilliance in this. Unbelievable, folks. A bullseye on temple, Marco, then to a mast. As I showed you, obviously the dart hits bang on the target area. So we've got, oh, I can't even draw these things. It's got this dart, this diamond in the centre, and then it comes out, I'm not sure, something along them lines. So you've got the dart hitting the bullseye, a bullseye on temple, Marco, then to a mast. So obviously to backtrack it just a little bit, it says, well, obviously you've got, right, just to give, well, I give you Orion Wonderbelt riddle, unveil all, which we'll do the Wonderbelt riddle now. Free target LZ. Well, the LZ, target LZ is there, but then we've done that, but then we've also got uncode map, then the dart itself says uncode map target beyond Coent Temple, and then you've got so when connect map key to Orion belt, Corsham names me. But then the temple message itself says a bullseye on temple, Marco, then to a mast. As I showed you, the mast goes on to the ship that's, well, it sort of sits there, but you've got this ship. This line goes to the RGH as well, just so you know, the Royal Gwent Hospital, that's the coordinate it goes on, because these lines obviously are coded. there's more code. This is Noah's Ark Farm Zoo, believe it or not. So you've got obviously got your Noah's Ark. And what's amazing as well, the house I lived in is literally about 15 foot. I was registered at birth. Is 15 foot from that lock on the temple, Kyle house. This is now named in the Orion's riddle. Well, like I think it's in the nebulas perhaps, but it's in the Orion code. But the riddle, we're going to do the riddle next. I just hope this video uploads because it's going to be huge. Bear with me a second. Okay, folks, as you can see, right, this is made up of all the stars in Orion, basically. As you can see, well, there's Bellatrix. So Bellatrix is one star. This is Messier, which Messier, I think, with there's no H, but that's Messier. Basically, it's every letter that's in those stars, but it creates Orion's riddle. Now, bear in mind as well that this has come up numerous times. I'm going to read these quickly. Right, the Holy Head Redeemer Code. I named my angel boy Marco, born at RGH. Yes, Redeemer is on RGH. Go tell why Solomon Cody Coent is Star City. Yes, Ranit, a Star Ark. Open FFF thinks Fallen Few. ID Fallen Angel. Well, Lucifer is Lawrence Douglas Fink, or the character Lucifer. Okay, Lions, Unicorn and the Dragon. So there's Draco, the Monoceros, the Unicorn, and the two lions, the Greater Lion and the Lesser Lion in Leo. It says, he connect Redeemer to Orion Constellation Roll. ID RGH House, soon all H. Then you've got the Solomon Tump Code. It says, ID my mon... Like I said, I can't go through, break all these codes down, but they're all there to be found. ID my mon code C... My mon code C... Atlas line, written between Solomon's Key, $1 bill bunker, Jerusalem, RGH Covenant House, Apple Tump, Remnant Mothership, and a V on Sabbath Day River. The final part, solve Orion's riddle. Then you've got Orion's riddle on the board. Right, so and I've only picked a few out there. There's more than that, but again, I haven't got time to do everything. But as you can see, it's not in one place. This is telling me to solve Orion's riddle. And that code that says it actually identifies the key, the $1 bill bunker underneath where they're planning, the Vatican and Fink and the World Economic Forum are planning to shoot to underneath the safe zone when the war starts, for one. Obviously, it's not going to work out. They've sort of dug their own grave, I think. But like I say, that and then you've got the Apple Tump, which I've done. Jerusalem is Kyle went. RGH Covenant House is the house where it's the covenant, is the promise, and the house where I was born, where I was registered at birth, but taken to the RGH, the Royal Gwent Hospital, to be brought back to only uncode the RGH as being the actual safe zone. Right, and I better get on with this, otherwise it's not going to upload. Okay, right, so I take Angel, right. Like I say, now, extraordinary claims have got to have extraordinary backup, and I'm hoping, because I can't, let me turn that light off a second. I don't even know what to make of it. It's astonishing, but I do not see how this cannot be true. But let's just do, well, I take angels all in a belt. I think we've covered that one quite thin. The angel is the Ankh. The Ankh was used on the first map. It says to keep Ankh and basically free H, which I did as well. It says, I take Jerusalem. Okay, well, Jerusalem, right, where do I start? Right, let's start. All right, let's go. Right, the Ankh and the Tau. The Ankh is represented by the pyramid code and the Tau. Now we hit the bullseye on well, we complete. Tau means complete, and Rus. To complete Rus, I basically will give me the code in this Jerusalem. But firstly, it's a thank you. Okay, so an Ankh and a Tau is a thank you. I think it's a thank you for doing the... I'm guessing it's a thank you... I don't know whether it's a thank you to me or a thank you to me to Yah. Certainly me thanking Yah, because things... But, or maybe it's what he's given me as a thank you for obviously, and showing me these things, because I obviously keep my side of the bargain or the covenant. Right, okay, so firstly you've got that anyway, so but that's why you keep the ankh and the toe. And when you put the two together, we'll be coming to this in the next one. Basically, I don't know, the ankh overlays the toe, but there's a message in this and a message down here. This is the H with the crown, which are all part of this. But the ankh is redressed with the toe. So what you do is it gives it new, basically it gives you new robes. And again, I'll be coming on to this bit more in the next bit, but again, I think the G goes there, and what this says is Clan Melvin, Siluri Angel, C. Henry Genesis, and it's the first code that broke the LZ, the EVAC and the LZ code as well. Again, I'll come on to that with Solomon on the next video, hopefully, depending on what comes in between, because I can't keep up with it at the moment. Okay, so right, I take Jerusalem. Okay, well, what this? See, there's a little trap in the real Jerusalem. And like I say, I've decoded all this back in numerous ways. Right, okay. Right, if I reverse Jerusalem, it says Mel, A, Sir, G. And what you do is you fill in the missing. Okay, Melvin, A, Sir, name, G. Okay, well G is Guy obviously, and that's where Mr. Guy and Gymru comes in. Okay, but what we have also is V-I-N-E. Now Jesus claims, or the supposed Jesus character claims he's the true vine. Now again, I'll be going probably more into that with my parents' names and everything, because they're encoded in the rivers and they can be decoded as well. Well, this is my father's name, Melvin, his surname G. My father's name was Melvin John Guy. My grandfather's name was Melvin, hang on, Melvin Guy. I'm not sure of his middle name, but in Welsh you have ap means son of. So my grandfather is Melvin ap Robert, my father was Melvin ap Melvin, and I am Marco ap Melvin. Right, so to get the full code, what you need to do again is go to complete Rus, or this is completion of the name Rus, or complete the surname. Okay, when you go to Taurus, the stars in Taurus, when you break the code in it, it says you ran Guyana map and Mel that I hid in. And what there is in Guyana, again, I can't go into all of it, but I forget how it goes, something like this. There's this basically, the constellation of the crane is made up, all coded again. I mean, Guyana is Anagai, next to it is the country called Suriname, and it says, when you break the bigger code, it says Anagai, surname I am a mapper. And then you've got other code in there, something about the Four Angel City, which I'll be probably coming to on the next video. I've done it before though. But what you have, the Mel that he hid in is, well, this place is called Bellum. Okay, so it's Bemel. Okay, like I say, the other places as well, uncode. But just above Bellum is the Mel that he hid in, because there's a little place called Marco. And the Redeemer Angel and the Redeemer code actually points, the eye of the Holy Head is actually looking and looks directly at this, which is where the Marco bit comes in the born RGH in the Angel code. Okay, so effectively Marco be Mel, because I am Marco ap Melvin, a surname G, which is Guy. So the secret code in Jerusalem. So when they tell you Jerusalem is in the Middle East, number one, it's a great big lie. Well, it's all a lie. The whole book's been rewritten. They've taken the entire Welsh thing out of it, and obviously there's still a lot of places still named biblically in Wales, and they're coded, as I proved with Jacob's Ladder video. Okay, IB all tricks in a map. Well, that's your map tricks. Okay, again, again you decode that at the padlock. Like I say, to break the padlock, to break the matrix, and it's mentioned 4 or 5 times in the Old Testament, or 4, but I think he said words along the line, something to do with he who breaks the matrix will be mine. Well, the padlock, all you do is you add P and lock, basically. Add P lock to the word matrix, and then you add the P to lock it in, and then you've got the map tricks, which is your map tricks. I'd be all tricks in a map, which it all is. All this is tricks in a map, as I've showed you, the dart, there's so many of them, it's undeniable that this is obviously genuine. Right, okay, now the last bit. Right, I've showed you how to connect the H-man, so the secret H-man, Manchester, Corsham, you get all, it's written everywhere really, it's encoded all over. But this is where, like I say, again, I'm just going to let the code do the speaking. Please comment on this, I would love to hear what you've got to say about it, because I just do not see how this is chance. It isn't, I know it isn't. Even though I cannot get my head around this, but and like I say, I can't even bring myself to say, but like I say, I just cannot sit. There's no way that this can possibly be wrong. And right, just to add to this as well, bear with, I'm going to just pause you a second. Okay, I'll show why I'm showing Canis Minor and Major, because the two constellations, the stars in them, makes another code on top of this. Absolutely, well, like I say, right, I'll let the code do the talking. But when you anagram Canis Minor, the lesser dog, and Canis Major, the greater dog, it says Marco realises a Roman Catholic reset. They reset the whole thing and lied and created a Jesus character that is coming to save people, which is absolutely not true. The real Yah is the saviour, he's the one, he's the creator and the saviour, there is no other. It says, I show you things in ancient times, things not yet done. It says, let them take counsel or something. But I am it says I am your God and Saviour, there is no other. What it should say is I'm Yah, your Creator and Saviour, there is no other. I'm not the Saviour, I'm just a messenger. And that's what the difference is. No one else can, nobody can save you but Yah himself. And this is, right, okay, but Mark realised a Roman Catholic reset. And then you get the instructions to build the RGH again. It says get sign, the sign is Cancer again. Add moon, so I just add the moon, and that again is your target. Add moon, and then you've got your river, Jerusalem, and your Hebron, or H, Melin H, or Marco's H, whichever way you want to do it. So even there you've got well, again, you can decode my name, the H, everything from the same thing. Right, the last part, bear with me. Okay, folks, these are the stars in those two constellations, Canis Minor, Canis Major, Gomisia, Procyon, Sirius, Mizram, Weezan, Aldara, and Aludra. When you encode it, it says, and like I say, it's not just saying, well, it even names Orion as well, which makes it even more, and a statement of fact. I, Marco Guy, Orion Messiah, ran Armada LZ, the Armada, because the Argus Navis isn't coming on its own. In fact, there's a code in this that tells you it's in the war zone already. I, Marco Guy, Orion Messiah, ran Armada LZ, which I did, that's the landing zone, it's the key, and saw prize due. Well, the prize due is the rescue of the remnant, and, well, for me as well, a big part of that is that the fact that my daughters are also encoded in the ship and the lock and the key. Which, again, I can't get into all of it, but I've obviously uncoded this already. And when you see the things like you connect Redeemer to an Orion constellation roll, ID RGH house, soon all H, you get Solve Orion's riddle. What's the other one I got? I name my angel boy Marco, born at RGH. Yes, Redeemer is on RGH. Well, the RGH is obviously the code in the bullseye, and you can trace it all back and connect it all together. And like I say, this isn't even touching on Solomon yet. What you need to do, stand in the letter Y. I'm going to be getting into this in a bit more, because when Solomon is in this, lower your head. Basically, this is also the reverse, is the upside down reflection of the safe zone as well. If this was Holyhead, Swindon, Exeter, and then you'd have the two forts in the lock and the key in the brain. So the key, and that would be the lock. But this is how I stand. So you stand with your feet together in the shape of a letter Y. Your sins go on your palms. You offer them up. And like I say, in return, I got my cup filled with water. That's the River Severn, which gives you your R, G, H. Well, in the reverse order. Obviously, this is why the reflection in the Great Seal of Solomon. Again, I can't get into it all, but guys and girls, I would love, obviously, if you've managed to stick this out, and I hope you have, if you could comment. I mean, I get no idea what people think of this, other than the people, you know, and I really appreciate the comments. I mean, I don't want to do negative stuff. If you don't believe it, don't comment. But I know, or not don't believe it. I mean, but if you're going to be rude or aggressive or whatever, go somewhere else and just forget it. And good luck to you when the time comes. But if you know anybody, if you just, I would love to hear. And something would be interesting to know what kind of area people are in. I mean, just to give me an idea, is it just people in Britain? Because this is open to the whole world. This code all over America, a great big scythe for one. But again, like I say, if you could like it, give it a thumbs up, that would be brilliant. Subscribe if you haven't, because there's more to come. Because I mean, I don't know where well, I got an idea where well, I thought I had an idea where this week was going until all this dropped. But ultimately, you know, this just keeps happening over and over and over. And I thought long ago, how much longer is this going to go? And it's still rolling. And the speed I get it is absolutely impossible. But as you can see, I'm hoping that I'm showing you that I am really being guided by Yahweh, or at least or the tetragrammaton, whatever that might be, the decoded remote anagram time trigger thing that obviously seems to send it. But there's no doubt that I'm being guided, because you know, like I say, I draw things, and then once I decoded everything, and then I suddenly get the confirmation, as you can see. So I hope that please comment, and just you know, just even a hello be great, and just to let me know where you are in, you know, if you're in this country or abroad or whatever. Okay, and on that note, thank you for watching, and Yah's blessings to you.